So, TikTok, open eyes also got said, more multi-state widespread. I would be more worried about being larger out scale. Okay, we read that. Amy Lynn Jones. Hi, John and Amanda. I hope you are well. I looked into Optimize You for hormone optimization. The cost is prohibitive right now for me, but planning on trying it in the future. In the meantime, do you know of any other programs that would be helpful? Or do you have suggestions to help me get started? I know my health is worth it, and I'm claiming the ability to use them in the future. I'm working on building different streams of income to make that more financially fluid. So what if you could get something that you took, whether it's a shot or a pill or whatever, that made you get twice as much shit done, right? What if when you went to sleep, let's say you're sleeping 8 hours now, but you wake up and you don't feel rested, and you don't wake up and you're excited for the day. What if there was a shot you could take where you went to sleep for 4 hours instead of 8 hours and woke up wide awake and rested? That's what optimizing your hormones is like. Maybe not that drastic. And I know you say you can't afford it. So it's going to be very easy for you to just keep putting it off. And before you know it, a few years are going to go by. And you're younger right now than you're going to be next year and the year after that. So figure out how to afford. And I don't get anything for this, right? I don't get a percentage of this. I don't get a kickback. I don't even get a thank you from them. But the shit works, and we've used them. I'm actually going to meet with Jerry Monday. We're driving to see Jerry Monday, and we're doing some other things in the office there also that he has. So don't wait. Figure out how to make this work. Keep growing the revenue. Build content. Get eyeballs. The most valuable thing right now is an audience. If you have attention, then you can convert those people and monetize them in some manner. Just add value. People are following you because they have interest in what you're doing. Some weirdos are following you because they fantasize about your feet. Some guys have some idea that you're going to leave your husband and be with them. Like, you'd be amazed, whatever we don't care what their reason is. As long as you have the eyeballs, you can make the money. So as far as what you can do, even when you're on hormones, you're never going to have the advantage that you could have with them if you're still putting shit in your body. You know, whatever you're putting in your mouth that shouldn't go there, stop putting that in there. You also know what should go in there, so put more of that in there. And then with the hormones, you're only getting 10% of the fucking benefit of them if you're not functionally working out with them. So you have to look at it is, once you are optimized, every hour of work you put into you is a day's worth of quality on the back end of your life. So you're going to get to a point where you're 60 years old and you're going to be like, I wish I hadn't fucked around when I was 40 and 50 or 30. Right? I can't say that because I'm already 50. But I am taking that shit seriously. It's not something I say, and I have no gain by telling you guys that you should do this. Nothing at all. But as far as what you can do, I mean, you can always put less bad shit in your mouth. That's what a lot of it is. You can also get up and move. There's tons of people out there. I mean, I got a friend who, she runs, I guess she's not even a friend anymore. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she was my friend's wife. And she ran a daycare, and she was the most miserable fucking person in the world. If Matt had killed her, I'd have helped him bury that bitch. And her name was Angela. And she was, I don't know, 350 pounds, 300 pounds.
Yeah. And she's maybe like 5'3".
On Prozac, just miserable person. And one day, a couple of her friends were like, hey, let's do this 5K. So they were doing this couch to 5K thing, right? They're training. And she ended up taking it really, really serious. And I don't think she even did a 5K. I think she actually did a half marathon on her first time out. Anyway, she does centuries and shit. She flies all over the fucking world. She's on the cover of all these running magazines.
Literally changed her life.
Amazing fucking person. And my point is, she was 350 pounds, and now she's, I don't know, 120, 130 pounds of just fucking pure muscle, right? You see all these girls, and I say girl because you're a female, but dudes too. You will see people. You've always got the bad back guy, or there's this wrong or that wrong, but you also, on the same in the same group, you know, there's the dude that did have all that shit, and he just decided he's just tired of doing it. When you lose, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna live longer. So I always use the example. I have multiple friends that were blown up, literally blown up, missing limbs. There's a team dude lost a leg and a hand, and within 2 years he was still deploying, multiple deployments, these guys, right? So there's always, everybody has some excuse as to why they can't do something, but there's plenty of dudes that have it way fucking worse that are doing way more. So it's just decision. It's just mind. It's just decision. Billy Edwards, working and building different streams of income. Billy Edwards, first order was in July. Very impressed with the quality. The wait was worth it. Great eye-opening, self-reflecting, stepping on toes, motivational YouTube content. Waiting patiently. Right on. Billy, I wish I would have said what it was you ordered that you got that you love. That's awesome. David, what model jet boil? I have just the normal ass jet boil, right? And I've got, I don't know, a dozen of them probably. We bought a few more of them, and we bought the same one, right? I don't have the Sumo or none of that. I did make an effort to buy their, I think it's called the Expedition or whatever. It folds up in half, and it's a dual burner system. It's like $500, $400. Every time I tried to buy it, I couldn't get it. It's called, maybe it's the Genesis, I think it's called.
I think it's the Genesis.
And I just we never got one of them. I couldn't get it. And it runs on, that thing runs on jet boil fuel, and it'll also dual fuel with propane, which I thought was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. We just have the normal ones. There's definitely smaller ones. There's definitely larger ones. I've never even done anything. I mean, I've cooked, like I've warmed up. We actually went to a park over here too while we were here. We did water and made like Mountain House meals. We've done coffee in them, shit like that. I even bought the generic, not generic, but Camp Chef makes something equivalent or identical almost. I bought all those because the intention is to do a video. We eventually will. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. We just made jet boil pouches, and we have Nalgene pouches. We've been making a lot of them just because guys keep buying them. So we run a run, sell out, run a run, sell out, run a run. And I thought we should do a video of this. And I'm like, well, the way to really do the video is just to go out in the woods, and we'll do a cool little fucking B-roll video for 30 seconds of hiking and chomping through the woods and sit down on a stump and, you know, make some coffee. And then have a cool, like all the steam coming out, and then we'll just run the camera through the steam. And then all of a sudden, boom, we'll be back at here. Hey guys, here's the jet boil. These are the pouches. This is what this does. You guys might not be aware of it, but there's 2 slots inside. This is for a fork and a spork. And if you're not familiar with jet boil, the jet boil, you can put the small size fuel can inside the jet boil, and it goes right here in this jet boil pouch. And you can put one on this side of your day pack, and you can put an Nalgene on this side, and it offsets the weight perfectly. They look very similar. But we got to go and make the video. So we just haven't done it. We do make the products. But as far as jet boil, man, I just have the normal ones. Buy the one you like. Buy the one that you feel is best for you. They work incredibly fast. And that's what we were going to do. We're going to take the Camp Chef one and the jet boil, spark them off, you know, because they have the self-sparker. Those igniters go out a lot. You can buy an igniter. You can also just start it with any flame, you know. You can use a match or a lighter. I want to see, side by side, do they boil water as fast? So... Max's Path, no question this week. Love the connection these videos give the community, and I know I speak for everyone when I say I really appreciate the time and effort it takes to put them out. Thank you, Max. Thank you. Aaron Kinder, John, do you train forearms when lifting weights, or just let your homestead work do it for you? I found direct forearm training has helped me deadlift more without having to wear straps.
All John does is arms.
I could see that. I used to do all kinds of arm shit. When Justin wrote my last couple programs, the last one had some forearms in it, but mostly buys, tries. You're gonna get some forearm work anyways. So how are we gonna do forearms? Set, you know, with a dumbbell on your knee while you're sitting on the bench, and just roll this way. Then you can flip over and roll this way. I do it with a straight bar standing, usually behind my back with a cable between my legs, and just rotate that way. I don't do it very often. I also don't train calves, and I have fucking really good calves. And
you also have a calf lifter machine.
I do. I don't use it. You can also do just calf presses. On the front press, I can do it with the sled. There's a ton of ways. I can do it standing with a bar. I can do it with dumbbells. I don't do any fucking calves. And I probably have calves, I don't know, better than 95% of the people you know, probably. So do I do forearms? No, not very often. No, not very often. Scott, that doesn't mean you shouldn't, Aaron.
Especially if it's benefiting you in some other big lift.
My shoulders were very lacking, so I do shoulders all the time, and now I have shoulders. My weakest body part is probably chest, right? So I do push-ups all the time. And those perfect push-ups, guys, those are great. Like, I have a lot of shit going on in my wrists and my joints, in my shoulders especially. But those perfect push-ups where they'll rotate, and especially just having that grip to hold on to, man, it really makes them doable. So, check them out.
I like to do push-ups on dumbbells.
Yeah, totally.
On the hex dumbbells.
Yep. Yeah, so they don't roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because when I do the perfect push-up, the twisting is too much on my wrists.
Don't twist. Lock your wrists. Like when I put your feet behind your head, I just tuck them back there.
Yeah.
Scott, is there a book? And as far as straps, Aaron, we build straps if you need some straps. And I know a lot of guys are against straps, but when you do use straps, you will move more weight, and it will also isolate body parts. I'm definitely not against using straps. I don't even care if they're my straps. I don't even use my straps. Every time I build them, we sell them as fast as we can build them. I bought some of Rob's straps from Flag Nor Fail, just because I like to support Rob. I like to show his product. And I also have some Rogue stuff. Everything I own from Rogue that's branded Rogue, I've never regretted. We've got some handles that we're going to put out too. We've got some handles coming, machined aluminum grips for cable machines, and we're doing them in different camo patterns and stuff. Scott, is there a book or audiobook that you felt has given you a life lesson or new insight that you still use in your day-to-day life? If so, what book was it, and what lesson did you teach? Not a clue, man. I don't read books. If I sit down and read, and this is an excuse, right, that I always get on you guys about. If I sit down and read, I fall asleep. Always fall asleep. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm about to listen to Atlas Shrugged. I've watched Atlas Shrugged has been made into movies, and there's 3 of them, and they're on YouTube. You can just listen to them. You don't even really have to pay too close of attention to it. But I'm going to listen to the book. I'm going to check out the book. As far as books I've read, man, it's mostly short-form content. I don't really... My attention span, even then, maybe that's my problem, right? It's just, I don't know, ADD. Do I have ADD?
Fuck yes. Oh
Wait,
my
did
god.
you just ask that?
But I don't need to be like, I don't need to go and
Holy shit.
talk to somebody and get diagnosed. Like, everybody wants to go and talk, and
Well,
for some people, talking shit's fine, but a lot of people go to a counselor and then walk away with 10 problems they didn't know they had.
More fucked up than when they went.
It's just a...
Amy and I got into a fight about this the other day because she talks about she gets anxious, and then after she had the first kid, she got real anxiety, like really bad anxiety. And I told her that it's because nobody told you to stop and move on.
Right.
And she got pissed at me about that. And I was like, yeah, you could go talk to somebody about it, and they'll tell you everything that they think is wrong with you.
Yep.
But
and then they're going to give you some medication that's going to
Exactly.
completely change your fucking
I
personality.
mean, you can do it online now.
Yeah.
Like, you can call somebody and they'll talk you. You don't know this motherfucker.
Yeah.
They're not looking at you. I think I could take a dude who's completely out of shape, and if we never showed him on videos, I think we could do motivational videos with him and have him give workout and fitness advice, and we could grow that into a complete big business, and they would never know that dude wasn't fucking in shape.
Yep, I completely agree with that.
And that's that fucking counseling. My dad is a fucking psychiatrist. My dad is a psychologist. Worked with death row inmates. Fucking was a family counselor. Has his own family. Has a family counseling practice business now. Like, more power to him. That's what he went to school for. And I'm sure there are psychologists that would love to fucking talk to me. I don't have time for that shit. Just move the fuck on. Everybody, move the fuck on.
Yep, she told me that if I
That's
ever
in the
went and
past.
saw
You're not
a
fucking
counselor,
going that way. It's like driving a car, especially
Yeah.
a fast car or a motorcycle. You're going where you're fucking looking, where you don't even have to move your head. Just move your eyes. That's
you
where it's
start to
going.
go, yep.
Stop fucking looking back.
Yep, that's the way I am, and that's she was like, if you go see a counselor, they'd have a field day with you. I was like, that's my point. I don't need it because I just kept going. You
Right.
know?
Who were you? You were just earlier in this conversation today. You said somebody was talking about some shit happened 15 years ago.
I don't remember. Did I
Yeah,
say
it's,
that?
the dude who was sad because his dad died 30 years ago in 9/11.
Oh yeah, the Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, he has an excuse to be sad.
No, he has an excuse for being weak, and he's looking
Well,
for
that's what I
attention.
mean.
Because
Yeah.
when we put that out there, now that we cry on social media, those are the most fucking engagement they've got. So they don't even realize maybe that it's happened, but it's that dopamine release. So they're looking for more. They are now addicted to it, like a rat is addicted to heroin.
Yeah, but that's why it's not an excuse like it's okay to do it. It's an excuse like, oh, now I get to do this.
Right,
Which
exactly.
Just shut up and get to work. You know, that's
Yeah,
the
and a
thing.
lot of that is
helps a lot.
They don't have to put forth any physical exertion
Yeah.
to get it.
Well, and we're so into this being vulnerable and oh, I'm so emotionally in touch with my feelings and all this bullshit. It's like you just need to fucking go outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm emotionally.
Go fucking work. Go
in
do
touch-
something hard.
I'm in touch with the sound this shovel makes when it smacks you in the side of the fucking head.
And-
Stay the fuck away from me.
And the thing is too is like I'm into like I talk about this with Ethan a lot. Like I'm into some stuff that like I do think helps you. Like when my girls get too out of hand, I make them do Om chants, which is the
Yeah,
the Buddhist
because the
chants.
breathing is why
Yeah,
it works.
exactly. But all of this bullshit
oxygenates.
is
It's
just
just like-
giving excuses. to
What's
not
that? Oh,
do
you're
something.
sad?
Yeah.
Show me it. Can you show me your sadness? I can show you some fucking workout, and when you work out, it releases endorphins and it oxygenates your fucking body and your blood, and you get well because disease can't live in fucking low oxygen, in high oxygen, right? So when
Yeah.
you oxygenate, so I can show you some things to do that you'll be so busy trying to breathe,
Yeah.
you will forget you're sad.
Well, that's
Can
what I
you
was gonna
show me
say.
your fucking, can you take it out of your pocket and show me your sadness? Then I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from me.
I
Go
mean-
where all the other sad people are and just fucking go there.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if there is nothing like you're not missing a limb or like something.
I don't care if
terrible
you're
hasn't happened.
that doesn't count anymore either because I know guys missing limbs.
Well, I mean, like that needs to be addressed. Like,
Yes.
if your limb gets cut off, okay, let's take care of it.
Yes, that's a temporary thing while you were in the hospital.
Exactly.
And then some CT Fletcher had a fucking massive, heart work done.
Mm-hmm.
He was up and running, right?
Like
Rob-
within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Rob sent me a video the other day. I actually posted it on the stories on Instagram. And he was there with Jeff Logan. And he's like, John's fucking everywhere. CT Fletcher was right in there
Oh, yeah, I
and
saw- I
with
think I
them.
saw
That's
that
CT
video.
Fletcher. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the coolest fucking part of all of it was that CT Fletcher was there. But there's just not an excuse, man.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so I think a lot of people who have anxiety, generalized anxiety or whatever.
It's because they're not moving.
Well, and what they need to do is they need to come up with a solution to whatever they're fucking anxious about.
Yeah.
If you are anxious that your kids are going to get fucking kidnapped, then guess what? You can take fucking action about that. If you're anxious because the power might go out, guess what? You can fucking make
What are you
movement
doing
towards
about it?
that.
Those are collectors.
Right.
Those
Like-
guys are anxious because they have not exerted enough energy at night that they're going to during the day with physical movement that they are not exhausted enough at night to go to sleep.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you could have the missing arm thing, but if you're just generally sad or anxious and there's nothing really wrong, that's just because your brain has too much time.
Right,
it becomes-
exactly,
it
because you haven't been
becomes-
challenged enough.
Exactly.
Their sickness or illness, and most of it's self-diagnosed, or some dipshit told them that, like this fucking doctor that Amanda sees.
Yeah.
It becomes who they are.
Oh, yes.
I have fibromyalgia. Hi, I'm John. I have fibromyalgia.
Yes. I've
Hi,
seen
I'm
that a
John,
lot.
and sometimes my testicle gets stuck in my fucking asshole. Like,
Well, that's
It-
probably
it-
painful.
it just becomes who they are. Like that is literally, in the first 3 sentences of knowing them, you know the problems. When somebody does that, stay the fuck away from that motherfucker.
Yep.
Well, that's just like, how do you know there's a vegan in the room?
Yeah.
Because they're going to tell you.
How do you know there's a seal? Because he'll tell you. Yeah, yeah, that's how it is, man. Yeah, stay away. There are crazy people, right?
Yeah.
There are people with real problems. Stay the fuck away from them too. All these bitches that married these motherfuckers that can't work, that's because they need something to need them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that's about. They need something to need them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hard pass.
does Amanda have the same sleep schedule as you have, John? My wife goes to bed around 9 every night and wakes up at 6. That's a lot of sleep.
Good for her.
I go to bed around 11 and go to work at 5. So that means you get up. So you're not even sleeping 11 to 5. I use the couple of hours by myself to learn new stuff that doesn't interest her. Good.
So I typically go upstairs about 11, and I'm usually ready to sleep 11:30, maybe midnight if we're having a really good conversation. And I get up at 5:30 every day. Period.
And Amanda married up, definitely, when she got with me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm super, super good looking all the time. So
All of the time.
she likes to have lots of beauty sleep. That's why she's so pretty.
I don't think 5.5 hours is enough for beauty sleep.
You wouldn't be as pretty if you slept 3 hours.
Okay.
So, and it's not about sleeping less, right? The getting up at 4:30 in the morning thing. It's not about sleeping less. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning, you're not going to have other distractions. You're not, and you might be checking your phone, but there's not a lot of motherfuckers up that are going to talk to you, right? You're not texting back and forth with your friends. I do shoot a lot of texts out around 4:45, 5 o'clock, but I know I'm not getting answers. Like, I'm not looking for a reply. I just shoot those out. I have 10 seconds, really, at most 10 seconds to get what I'm thinking out of my head, because it's going to be replaced by something else that I think is more important. So I put those out to people to put them in action, the people that need it, right? If I have some idea, a concept for a t-shirt, I'll message it out to 5-6 people. And a lot of times I'll include Amanda a lot of times Amanda, because she'll be like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then I'll check back with those people.
I'm the fallback method.
It's not that. She'll just be like, what were you fucking talking about? Also, it'll be in there and I can go back and look through the what I shot to her that day. I put it in notes also, but I never go back and look at the notes. It just, I don't know why. So it's about getting up in the morning and just being able to work on you. Everybody has this excuse about they don't have time, but we do have time. That's the one thing we all have, is the exact same amount of minutes every day. And I heard Ed Milet say the other day, like, he says 3 6-hour days, 3 8-hour days, right? And I say
4 6-hour days.
4 6-hour days. And he's like, look, I operate as though I have 4 days in a 24-hour period, and why would you not, right? If we're operating as though it's one 24-hour day, 100 years ago, we had to send a letter, and it takes 6 weeks to get someplace, and then I have to wait 6 weeks for a reply. If I can now message you anywhere in the world, and you see it literally less than a second, and then you reply, and I have the message back, why would we operate the way we did 100 years ago? So if you look at, you have 6-hour days. You have 4 of those, right? One of them, okay, we'll give you 1 to sleep. You can't do it in 6, then fucking sleep faster. I don't know what to tell you. So wherever it is, like, and the thing is, when I say sleep 6 hours, I need 8 hours. I don't give a fuck what you need. I didn't knock on your door. If you need 8 hours, then shut the fuck up and sleep 8 hours. I don't care. I don't need to know. I only care when somebody shows up and tells me what they can't do and then gives me a bunch of excuses. If you can't do it, then you can't do it, and I don't need to know it. But everybody wants to get their fucking pussies hurt over something, always. If that's the truth and you can't change it, then you don't need to fucking talk about it. Let's talk about what you can do. Insert yourself in the other places.
Well, about needing the 8 hours thing, that's what I was going to say. I would love to
Yeah, what
sleep
makes you
10
think you need
hours.
8 hours? Who the fuck told you need 8 hours?
Exactly.
The FDA.
The same motherfucker that told you should eat the food pyramid. The
Yeah.
same person that tells you should eat potatoes and fucking wheat. And look up grain brain, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a kid that's maybe a little bit on the spectrum? Look up grain brain. We had a chick that worked here, had a kid that's autistic, and he would literally like drone. He would sit and rock back and forth and just like weird kid, right? Like, you know, you can see something's wrong with the kid. And he's 18, 19, maybe even 20 years old now. And he was around for years. Like I saw the kid as he was growing up. Never had a conversation, never heard him speak, nonverbal. And he wanted to ride in the car one day. Mm-hmm. So I took him for a ride in the Porsche. And we went and rode 120 miles an hour. And the kid was just enthralled, and
He was elated.
and all of a sudden the kid could talk. When he was around mom, he never spoke. The kid had a full fucking conversation the entire time we were in the car. Told me which Lamborghini he wants, told me about his video games, told me about this truck he wants to get, all kinds of shit. The kid wasn't fucked up. The kid was fucked up when he was around mom. And I had said something. She introduces herself. Hi, my name is, and I have an autistic kid. That is literally her identity.
Yep.
She went and bought a car and said, I have an autistic son. Can I have a discount? And they gave her a 10% discount. And she brags about this shit. The kid is fucked up more because of mom than the kid's condition. The kid now, he went to school someplace, learned how to do auto detailing. He was a greeter at Walmart. They shouldn't have him as a greeter. He can do a normal fucking job. The kid is fully capable. Mom has kept him like this. But when he was younger, I saw some articles on Grain Brain, and I sent them to her, some YouTube videos. And she's like, yeah, I'm not stopping eating potatoes. I'm not taking away potatoes and bread. But there are tons of studies where kids were completely nonverbal, and they remove all grain, and the kids' problems go away, right? So if you've never heard of this, look up Grain Brain if you know anybody that has a child like this. But it's a lot of other things, right? But it's just another piece of the puzzle. So the 4:30 in the morning, it's about getting up when everybody else isn't, because there's no distraction, right? You can go and you can work out, you can do whatever it is you need to do for you, whatever your thing is.
That's literally what I was going to say. So I would love to sleep 10 hours a day.
Me too.
But I need I'm the last one to go to sleep and the first one to get up, because I need those few hours at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day to do my shit without being distracted. That's the need. It's not the sleep that's the need. It's that.
For some reason, like you hear Jocko talk about getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. What you don't ever hear Jocko say is what time Jocko goes to bed.
Yeah.
Why does nobody ask those questions of any of these guys, right? You hear all these dudes that get up early. Fucking time did you go to sleep?
Yep.
6, 7?
Marky Wahlberg was talking about he gets up at 3 a.m. to train.
Yeah.
He also goes to bed at 7 p.m.
Exactly.
Yeah, same thing with Vanderchuck, right? He gets up early, goes to bed fucking super early. And then I heard Brad Lee's like, what would you say if I told you I go to bed at midnight and I get up at 4? And the doctor's like, I'd say that you're on testosterone or your testosterone is very high. He's like, yep, both. Yeah. And that's how I'm able to do it. Maybe that is how I'm able to do it at 51 now. Maybe that is the case. It is testosterone. Great. But I mean, that gives me literally 20 hours out of the day where I can get stuff done. And I get stuck. I got up yesterday morning early and my knee hurt. I'm like, I'm not going to do cardio. So I sat there and I'm like, scrolling through social media, and when I'm scrolling through social media, I'm looking at comments so that I can heart them and acknowledge them and stuff, but I'm like, all right, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes, I've got nothing done, I'm literally stuck here, right? And I'm having this conversation with myself, and I go another 15 minutes, right? I don't have anything to show. I did things that are beneficial, but I don't have anything tangible, right? So if a dude's like, okay, I'm here to check your progress, show me your work, right? Show me your hinge. And I don't have anything to show. So you need to utilize the time also. And how much time do you need? And then there's this other thing too. Like I go to sleep a lot of times at 11:30, 12 o'clock and wake wide the fuck up at 2 o'clock and then toss and turn. And I'm like, I need to get back to sleep. I'm going to get up at 4:30 and just toss and turn, right? And there's a lot of dudes that talk about split sleeping. They go to sleep, they wake up a couple hours later, get up for a couple hours, go back to sleep for another 5 hours. I've done that. Like at the hotel, I got up at 3:30 in the morning and went and worked out for an hour. did 30 minutes on the treadmill, worked out there in the gym with the weights, and then I didn't want to wake her up coming back into the hotel room. So on the top floor, there's a whiskey bar, and there's this lounge, fucking badass lounge. So I just stayed there, and I made a bunch of social media posts at like 5 in the morning. Came back in the room, I don't know what time, 6. I'm like, maybe I'll go outside. Well, it didn't get fucking daylight till 7:30. So,
and it was really foggy.
So I just came back, got in bed, slept for a couple hours. We got up and ran all around, and I didn't think one time, fuck, I'm tired today.
Yeah.
Just that split sleep. So different shit for different people, but we're stuck on this thing, and a lot of it has to do with because you guys have to be someplace every morning at a certain time, so you have to follow this structure. And I love when these dudes are like, it's not all about the money. Then why do you get up every fucking morning and go to a place you hate for a little bit of money? I think it's all about the money.
Well, I was going to say that about somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk. I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know if he's like in the fitness.
Hey, guys.
He never was before. But at 6 o'clock, there's no business that can be done. But at 5 a.m. there is.
Right.
So he can go to sleep, still get as much sleep as he wants, but utilize the time that he's awake perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
And I was going to say, you're like, why do you get up? So, like, I get up at 5:30 so that I can perform duties that will support my staff when they get here. Mm-hmm. So that, because Cody comes in and starts pulling orders at 7. So that gives me
6:30, 6:45.
Yeah, it gives me time to have some coffee and print my orders and do my emails and all that stuff when it's quiet and nobody is expecting anything out of me.
Yeah.
And then when he comes in, like, he can come in and get right to work because I've already prepared that stuff for him.
And that's big too about the coffee, because so I get about 2 hours in the morning before anybody gets up. About 30 minutes of that is me doing nothing but just sitting there drinking my coffee and waking up.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get that time, then I'm an asshole for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that doesn't serve anybody. Like, everybody's pissed at that.
What are you doing while you're drinking the coffee?
I'm just sitting.
So your phone's not there?
So when I have this problem, and I didn't realize it was a problem until I changed phones and I have it plugged in. When I wake up, I grab my phone.
Yeah.
And before, it was on a wireless charger, so I could do that. Now, every time I do it, I grab it and it gets yanked out of my hands.
Yeah.
But so I do that, and then when I'm sitting there, usually nothing. Like, I'm like kind of dazing off, like thinking about whatever's on my mind.
I'm usually like planning what's going to happen throughout the day. Like, okay, I know I need to do X, Y, and Z by this time, or this is what we have set up for today, or whatever.
Exactly. So. But I definitely have the grab my phone as soon as I wake up problem.
John's got to pee. He's got to pee.
Pause it or whatever.
Trying to tear us down, tear